Imagine you are walking down the street in New York City when you see a huge skyscraper on fire. As soon as you see it, you rush into it and save the lives of 2,500 people by leading them out of the building to safety. While leading this many people to safety would be nearly impossible in this situation, that is exactly what Mrs. Irena Sindler did. Except in this scenario, the fire is the Nazi soldiers, the skyscraper is the Warsaw concentration camp, the people in the building are Jewish children, and New York City is Warsaw, Poland during World War II. Not yet in her 30s, Irena Sindler was a young Polish Catholic social worker when the Nazis invaded Poland in September of 1939. As the Nazi soldiers began to take over Poland and put all of the Jews in the Warsaw concentration camp, Sindler was very aware of the horrible conditions the Jews were being kept in. With no food or medicine, the Jews had barely enough to survive. Sindler couldn't fight the urge to rush to their aid, and she quickly formed a group of many young women to help her with her cause. The group helped by sneaking in medicine and food as well as smuggling Jewish orphans out of the camp. They snuck out children by hiding babies on trams and garbage wagons, as well as leading older children out of the camp through underground passageways and sewers. After she led these children to safety, they had Catholic birth certificates and papers of identity made so that the children could be placed in orphanages and converts in the area surrounding Warsaw. In order to authenticate these papers, they were signed by priests and high-ranking officials in the social service department. But, as you can guess, this was an extremely dangerous thing to do. The city was covered in Gestapo, or the official secret police of the Nazi Germany. They were constantly on the lookout for escaped Jewish children. On one day, October 20th of 1943, the Gestapo came into Irena Sindler's home. Because she refused to give up information about her co-conspirators, she was taken to a war prison where she was tortured. As she was being taken to her execution, some of her friends bribed a guard to let her go, and she escaped to her freedom. This near-death experience didn't stop her, though. She continued to do her work. Because of her work, along with many others that played an important role, she saved the lives of over 2,500 Jewish children during World War II. She is the true definition of a superhero. In today's time, we focus on other people's skin color, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and religion, that we often forget that we are all humans. Mrs. Irena Sindler did the exact opposite, though. She laid her life on the line to save the lives of thousands of Jewish children, even though she was Catholic. I feel like if Mrs. Sindler can risk her lives for people that may not look like her or believe the same as her, we can at least respect each other regardless of our appearances or beliefs. Mrs. Sindler inspires me every day to respect and love all people, not just the ones like me.